Hi, Katie. Welcome to
Hi.
our very first Why I Built This, brought to you by the Conscious Space. Um,
Hi.
First of all, I'd love for you to give us your elevator pitch.
No worries. Okay, so Nuebar is essentially a plastic packaging free approach to hair and body care. It's also about being ethical as well in other respects as well. So we use fair trade and organic ingredients and no palm oil. So it's about having a holistic approach to being environmentally and ethically aware. Yeah.
Amazing. And what do you see as the main purpose of Nuebar?
Well, the main purpose, thinking really big picture, I actually see the main purpose of Nuebar is helping people to think differently and think outside the square. Because if we can give away, it's a fairly simple concept, like don't use plastic packaging in your hair and body care, but I think it takes a bit of adjusting to for people. And once they see that, oh, I can do something differently and it's not that hard. It's not that, that it helps them think outside the square and think, well, what else can I do differently that can help the planet and help us to tread a bit more lightly. So I'm a bit of a big picture person, and that's sort of part of my inspiration of the purpose of the product. It's not just about, okay, we can do away with plastic packaging, which is of course brilliant, but it's about thinking about what are all the other things we can do differently and helping people to think differently.
Mm. And why hair and body care? Why that particular niche?
Okay, so I'm a naturopath by background. I spent 16 years in the naturopathic field. And then I actually did a little bit of a sidestep and started teaching. I actually trained as a teacher when my kids were young and in primary school when I got really interested in education. So I did a retrain and I began teaching and taught for about 6 years. And then I was sort of starting to feel like, oh, I'd just like to get back to my naturopathic roots a bit. I was becoming really hyper aware about the environment and all the issues around it. And so I sort of thought, well, maybe I can set up a little side gig, that's something that incorporates some of my naturopathic skills. I didn't want to necessarily go back to a full practice again, but is creating something environmentally sensitive. So and hair and body care was, something that I thought, well, there's an opportunity. I'm a New Zealander as well, so I was familiar with the Ethique products, and absolute respect to her. She was, she was the originator of the idea. It's not an original idea, but I decided that it was about time Australia had its own version of this sort of thing, and that as a naturopath I could bring something to it that was a little bit different, something really conscious about looking after the skin and looking after the hair using the lowest chemical products I could, really taking the sulfates out and getting the pH balance right for the skin and thinking about botanicals that I could use to enhance the process as well. So I thought I had some skills there. Plus, my partner, Kerry, is an amazing art director and designer. She's had her own business. She's wanted to go into business with me for about 26 years, which is as long as we've been together. She's been like, we should go into business together. We should do this. I'm like, no. But finally, it's sort of, the time seemed right. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's give it a try. And it was also about, creating the world you want to see.
Yeah.
Like being part of it's very easy to sit and criticize. But I thought, well, if you want to actually see change, why not be part of that change? And this could be a little small cog in that wheel. So I decided to spend some time formulating and seeing if I could come up with something. So I spent about 10 months in the formulation process.
Wow.
Getting it right and really, testing product. And then we thought, okay, let's do this thing. Let's go for it. And we're really happy with the way the products have turned out and the feedback we're getting from people. And we just won an international award for a couple of our products.
Wow.
So our normal shampoo and our dry damage shampoo just won, well, we actually were runners up in a best zero waste product category in the Beauty Shortlist Awards, which is an international award system. It's like through 39 countries now.
Yeah.
They have judges from Sydney, New York and London, and it's one of the only independent beauty awards, so we're really happy with that.
Yeah,
and our face wash also won highly commended as well, so yeah,
that's incredible.
very stoked.
Yeah, congratulations. It's
Thank you. Thanks.
I mean, I guess, can you tell us why we should sort of start looking at what we're putting on our skin and our hair, and, you know, why natural products are better than the chemical laden ones that we get from the supermarket?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's about taking the load off the system. So the less load on the system, I mean, the body is an amazing self-healer. If you give it the right things, it can do a lot of the healing itself. It's more amazing than any drug or anything we've ever invented. So it's about supporting the body to do the best job it can. And by taking off, you know, things that are you know, blocking it and giving it extra to work against, that just helps it do its job better. So you take away some of those nasties and let the body do its job. And I mean, that's one of the foundational sort of theories of naturopathy, is the body's an amazing self-healer, give it the right tools and allow it to do its job.
Yeah, amazing. So what's your favorite botanic, or I guess ingredient, that you like to work with?
Oh, there's so many, really. It's been, I mean, the funnest part of building this business was all the tinkering I got to do in the first 10 months, and the playing I got to do with, you know, with formulating and ingredients. Look, neem oil is fabulous. I love neem oil because it's got such great antibacterial, antifungal sort of properties. I put that in all my oily hair shampoo, and that's great for sort of dandruffy type conditions and dermatitis. It's got that antibacterial, antifungal action, it supports that. And then I combine it with calendula, which is second antibacterial, and Carnuka oil from New Zealand. So that's a lovely little combination I've come up with, and it's a really earthy sort of scent as well. Then I also love, in my all my sensitive skin products, which I do a complete range of sensitive skin, we use no essential oils, so they're all fragrance free, and I use colloidal oats, which is such a simple, old, gentle remedy for soothing the skin. And we use olive oil as well, because it's just the most gentle, lovely, anti-inflammatory and lovely, and rich in antioxidants oil. It's one of the lowest allergy things you can use. So yeah, just creating those combinations is what I enjoy too.
Oh, just it all sounds so good. It makes me want to go and have a shower and wash my hair. It all sounds so nice.
Yes, well, cleanliness is a big thing at the moment, staying clean.
I know, yeah, absolutely. So let's jump into some of our other questions. What do you wish you had have known when you first started out?
Well, you know, I actually think it's better not to have known things. I'm pretty pleased I didn't know what it was going to be like, because I would have been a bit scared. I'm glad I didn't know how much work it was going to be, because otherwise I might not have done it. Look, we've basically been working, you know, 7 days a week since we started, and it's, you know, with little breaks for sanity here and there, and which are crucial, but it's just the work of having your own business is like, oh, unbelievable. And until you've done it, and I'm sure you understand this, Jess, you don't really know. So I actually think not knowing is probably what I would wish on myself, rather than actually knowing things. I'm just super glad I didn't know some of the stuff. And you learn as you go along, and it's just a matter of throwing yourself into the process and being prepared to just run with it, with whatever, you know, comes at you, staying grounded, staying calm, and just taking one day at a time and learning as you go.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, in that case then, what would you say is something that you have learnt since you started this that you didn't?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've learned lots of stuff, lots of technical stuff and things like that. I've talked to a cosmetic chemist along the way, back and forth, and, you know, I've learned huge amounts of things in there that I've just integrated in as I've gone. But I think Biggest learning, I think it's learning how to pace yourself and in this sort of process as well, and how to take one day at a time. That's probably actually the most crucial thing I've learned.
Yeah, that's very, very true. I can understand that as well. Tell us, what are you curious about right now? Is there something that you're planning, or are you researching something, or what are you curious about?
Yeah, sure. Look, I think curiosity is a huge part of, I love curiosity, and I think that's part of what led me to this. At the moment I'm trying to formulate some more facial skin products. Like I've got a wash, but I'd love to have a moisturizer as well. And that's really hard to do in a solid form, because you don't have any water in a solid form, and that's one of the main ingredients in moisturizers is water. It's also one of the main ingredients in shampoo and conditioner. But in the case of on your face, it's sort of like that's what sits, part of what sits and soaks in. So they tend to be sort of oilier and heavier, the solid form products. So I'm trying to get that balance right, and I've managed to do it with a body moisturizer, because you can have a little bit more oomph in a body moisturizer. It's okay, but so facial moisturizer is tricky, and I'm really doing lots of playing around at the moment to try to get that one right, because I don't want to release. I've made some things, but I'm like, I still need to get it just quite right. So a bit more testing.
Waiting till you nail it. Yeah. Well, I'll be happy to be your to test things out for you if needed.
Yeah, fabulous, great.
In the post. So obviously things have changed a lot in the last week or so. Do you want to just give us a bit of an insight into what your day-to-day is like now?
Sure. Look, I feel really, really grateful and fortunate that we've got a business that we can continue to do in this sort of environment, and that we are largely working from, our manufacturing is all done ourselves. We've got a big studio down the back that we do all the manufacturing in, so we don't have to go far, and we do a lot of everything in-house. We have one other office worker who comes in, but she's also local, and so it's easy to go, and she's still coming in now, but we're going to find it quite easy to transfer this, and a lot of our stuff is done online. The main thing that has changed for us is we used to do a lot of markets, a lot face-to-face. Obviously Conscious Space was one we were going to participate in, and we're really going to miss that. And it's been a big part of how we've interacted with people and talked to people and meeting people, and getting that direct face-to-face feedback has been such a lovely part of growing the business. So it's something we're really going to miss, and the business is going to miss financially. But yeah, I mean, we really appreciate all the efforts that people like you have gone to try to keep things going online in the space. Thank you.
No, God. We're all just trying to figure it out. I mean, we've only sort of a week, and I'm sure in time, as this becomes a bit of a new normal, we'll discover creative ways, and things will evolve, and to a point where it'll start to feel a bit more comfortable, and we'll find ways around it. So in saying that, where can we find Nuebar currently?
Nuebar, our web address is Nuebar, that's Nuebar.com. That's simple, nuebar.com. And then we're also on Instagram, it's Nuebar_Australia, and Facebook is Nuebar Australia.
Amazing. So you're still producing?
Yes, we can still do our thing.
You're still sending out home delivery?
Oh, absolutely. We're still doing all our delivery, all our delivery is happening as usual at this point, and hoping that will continue.
Amazing. I mean, what better time than now, when we've got all this time at home, to experiment with new products and different things, and kind of change the way that we've always done things. I think it's a great opportunity. So I'll definitely be stocking up.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
thank you for your time.
My pleasure, Jess. And thanks so much for putting this on. We really, really appreciate it.